What is social unity awareness? What does it mean for us, for humanity, to be a singularity, a social memory complex where each human being is coexisting with each other, with every other human beings in a state of symbiotic relationship with spiritually harmonious beings, where we are respecting each other, honoring each other, and actually seeing each other as just mirrors for us to be able to see our own truest, purest, highest, darkest, and brightest self. Like being like that, like when somebody looks at you, all they see is just their own luminous light, their own joyful love, their own luminous light, their own peaceful unity, their own harmonious energy within themselves. But that can only happen if both of the beings are actually vibrating at high levels of consciousness, high levels of awareness, because it takes two to tango, but it takes three to mango. That's what I mean. Like right now, me and you are having a conversation. I'm talking to you specifically, directly to the magnificent soul that you are, to the magnificent God, Goddess, to the magnificent Goddess, God being that you are. This beautiful creature like Churchill. Thank you, Churchill. This magnificent being that you are. Like we're having a tango dance, but the moment you interact with things like this, with my message, with the wisdom that I'm sharing with you, with the conversation, with the entertainment that we're gonna have, that becomes three. Then we're having a mango experience. You know how we have mango, we can eat it, it's delicious, it has a seed, it blooms. What does it take for this tree to bloom from a seed? Well, it requires energy for the seed, for the potential. Seed is energy basically for light to transmute and transcend and bloom into this. Like how does those colors there that you see on the disc turn into this plant, for example, in this tree? Or how does it turn into you or me? Like how is it that those patterns of energy, because light is color, color is energy, energy is geometry, geometry is patterns, patterns is consciousness, consciousness is awareness, awareness is purity, purity is telepathy, telepathy is love. And what is love? Love is telepathy. Love is apparently the highest spiritual quality. But I say there is a few levels, not above love, not below love, but in the absolute center, which is what I refer to as Om, absolute neutrality, transcending duality, vibrationless, transcendence being. Because in that state of vibrationless, in that state of like as being, you can see my setup there is just a camera and a phone I'm just talking to. Then we get something like this, which I'm going to share with you in just a second. But first I'm going to try an experiment, see if I can fit this thing right here. Beautiful, isn't it? Now it's a 3T tango. So you know how does that turn into, like, think of this as a seed. Like how does that turn into a mango? Well, we need energy, which is like the seed itself, the colors, the patterns and everything. The patterns, the identity of the mango within the seed is just an identity-less character and a characterless identity. It's a potential that exists in the quantum realm, in the everywhere around us, that is divinely ordained, that is like governed by the divine itself, by Allah, God, Brahman, Supreme, Shiva, Vishnu, Prakriti, Transcendence, Spirit, Eternal. So fundamentally it's those, I just call it twice great one, the Spirit itself, or Allah, or God, or Brahman, or Shiva, or Vishnu, or Transcendence, or Prakriti, or Royal, whatever you call it, is just a singularity force that governs everything, that knows everything. It's basically consciousness itself. So ultimately it's the consciousness that allows the energy and directs it and guides it. Hey, now you bloom good like that, that branch goes like that, that one goes like that, a leaf comes out there, another leaf comes out there, another leaf comes out there. Now imagine this is a mango tree. Now we have a mango right there, we have another mango right there, we have another mango right there. So we need three fundamental forces. We need the seed itself, and which is like the energy everywhere around us, that's how always been here. We need consciousness to guide that energy, to direct it using its awareness. Hey, go there, do that. And then we need telepathy, like somebody coming there actually eating the fucking fruit and enjoying it, and you're like, wow, that mango tastes yummy. Ooh. But right now, typically I would eat stuff on my video, but in this video I cannot because I am fasting till afternoon, not because it's Ramadan, not because of this. I'm doing it in honor of Ramadan, in honor of the Muslims and all of that, but fundamentally I'm doing it as an experiment to see what it's like to have no food for like 20 something hours, for 15-20 hours. And it's fascinating. You try it. When you get hungry, when your body gets hungry, it's like all these thought patterns and everything rise up. So again, it all comes back to awareness and the same topic we were talking about, which is like social unity awareness. And I did a drawing of it. This is what social unity awareness inside of me looks like. Every human, every plant, every cell, every atom of a whole creation, every tron of the creation exists within me as a social memory complex. Like this is what I refer to as Royal Anwar Transcendence singularity. From a singularity perspective, this is what I look like. This being that is talking to you inside of me is just a portion of it, a dot, part of a tree, a triquad and everything. And this is what I mean, like for us, for every human to be Om, Royal Anwar Transcendence, naked, pure observational, telepathic awareness, super consciousness, Om, or whatever you call it. It's just, what would it take for every human to become so pure, so naked that they're not even afraid of their own thoughts, their own feelings, their own stories, their own biases, their own judgments, where they consciously choose, subconsciously choose, and unconsciously choose, and superconsciously choose, make a decision, a choice to open themselves up, to open their own lotus to the whole collective, to every human, to every plant, every being, not to the being that you see on the streets, but their own truest, purest, highest, darkest, brightest, transcendent self, their own higher self, their own God self, their own Goddess self, their own Allah self, their own Buddha self, their own Babaji self, their own Muhammad self, their own Yeshua self, their own Al-Mahdi self, their own Zainab self, their own Lakshmi self, their own Mataji self, their own Shanti self, their own Shakti self, their own Isis self, their own Osiris self, and so many more, their own Brahman self, their own Shiva self, their own Prakriti self, their own Transcendent self, their own Vishnu self. Is that all those different selves become a singularity. Like when we truly open up and say, hey, I acknowledge, I honor, and I see that every being that I see out there in the world is just a mirror of what is within me. And that is when true magic opens up to us, where we actually are able to, each human being exists as a social unity awareness. That is the end of duality. That is the end of all political, religious, what else? Sex wars, race wars, color wars, this war, that war. That is the end of war, when we actually, each human being exists as a social unity of awareness, realizing that we are all just one being. And the more of us human beings become a social unity awareness like that, you don't have to be exactly like that. That is just the inception Genesis template within me. That is the social unity awareness, the awareness itself. That's what it looks like inside of me. I've just met the emotional feeling thought wave, the love, the joyful love, the luminous light, the peaceful unity, and the energy, harmony, and the harmonious energy within me, that has translated and said, hey, this is what social unity awareness looks like within me. And that is how I perceive reality without perceiving it, because I'm not trying to see what reality is. All I have done is I have reached a certain level of awareness long eons and eons ago, and I said, hey Absolute, I've reached a certain level where I think I've seen everything through my perspective, through my perception. Now it is time for you to actually show me what reality itself looks like, or like show me what transcendence looks like, show me what awareness looks like, show me what consciousness looks like, show me what humanity is, show me what this is. I was like, show me what you are. Or like, hey source creator, hey sky daddy, hey sky mommy, hey mother Buddha, hey father Buddha, whatever you call your source. I was like, hey spirit, what do you look like? And things like this came true. Like these patterns of energy, these fundamental patterns. Like this pattern that you look at it, they call it like a fractal. But this is neither a fractal, but it is a fractal. It is neither a quantum image, but is also a quantum image. It's what I refer to as a QuantaFractosis, or quantum fractalosis, or quantum fractosis homeostasis, like the absolute neutrality between the quantum and fractal realm, where you're being neither of this, you're just being in that center, not even that center, you're just being like that translucent thing that is seeing this field of energy, this field of thing around you. And you can see all these colors, all these beautiful things, the dance of consciousness, like within the wave of emotions, it's all happening around you. And you look at it, it's like, wow, oh my god, like look at how fascinating this whole dance of consciousness is. Like look at how this guy is able to like perceive and talk about these concepts and show us like that is what social unity awareness looks like within us. And while he's doing it, before he ever reached this state where he was going to do a video about it, he already uploaded the emotional feeling thought waves with a pure intention into the collective's consciousness, because long time ago I reached a level of awareness. I was like, hey, everything I do is public, everything I do is live, anyway, everything I do is automatically encoded within the fabric of reality in every cell, every atom, every tron of every being, and I created different systems for it. So every bit of wisdom that I ever have, every bit of enlightenment, everything that comes through me, because it is the 013 fundamental energy centers of the whole universal cosmic infinitum that is speaking through me, that is sharing their wisdom with me. All I am is just a zero, an empty container, and nobody through which things like this comes through without my tidbit added to it. All I do is just give it some names and titles, because if you just look at that and without me saying, like, if you just do a basic experiment, honestly, if I just show you that, it's just some patterns of consciousness, energy, awareness, and telepathy, and love, and singularity, everything in there, eternity, infinity, all of it right there, without a title, without the human language integrated in it as a secondary thing. Honestly, I wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, your own higher self, your own God self, your own goddess self, all of that understands it, knows what it is. But the human part of you would be totally shitless. Like, you would not know what the fuck this guy is talking about. Like, why does his channel is called Self Transcendence Mastery with Transcendence Royal Anwar, when his name in reality is Royal Anwar Transcendence? That's what I mean. Like, in this channel, in the Self Transcendence Mastery with Transcendence Royal Anwar, it is the other way around. It is from behind the scenes, from beyond the tri-squared, beyond my bestie, which is like the whole universal cosmic infinitum, the spirit, the absolute, Allah, God, Brahman, Supreme, whatever name you give it. It's just my bestie talking, expressing everything through me, things like this. It tells me, hey, now let's do this and that. But here's the cool thing, it's not something with somebody outside of me saying, hey Royal, let's do a video and talk about social unity awareness. All I do is just, hey, I'm like, every day I'm like looking at ways how I can be of greater practical, implemental, functional and experimental service to the collective, to humanity. And that's why I do things like this. These are all experimental stuff where I'm like, just stuff like, you know, like this. So I can show off some of my moves and while we're talking about the concepts here in this video and everything, you can do some sword fighting and everything. I just broke this branch, and That is what it is. Until you break a few bones, a few bits of consciousness, until you fracture your consciousness into zillions and zillions of pieces, then how do you know what consciousness really is? Like, how does consciousness know it is consciousness while it is being consciousness? Like, how do we know we have not reached the social unity awareness already eons ago? How do we know that we have always been that? How do we know that we are not one singular collective? Like, that is not the message that I see being portrayed on a public scale around the world. Excuse that, gentlemen and ladies. Because right now, if you look at in the state of the world, even though we live in a very beautiful place, this planet called Aria, Mother Earth, that's her real name, Aria, the name she has apparently chosen. Thank you, Marina Jacobi with Harmonic Reactor. Check out her YouTube channel, Harmonic Reactor, Marina Jacobi. She talks about a lot of this quantum shit that is just too much. I'm a bit lazy sometimes, so I just do something like that. That talks about like volumes and books and all of that. So you can read all of these books and pages and thousands of pages of books, or you can just look at that image. It is just a translation of like billions and zillions and trillions bits of information about enlightenment, about consciousness, about transcendence, about awareness, about the unity, about social unity, about social harmony, social justice, and everything like that in just one drawing. In a sense, like, that is what I mean. Like, in long time ago we made a decision, like, you know, even though there's going to be in every cycle of like time and space that we go at, every block, you know, in that stage, think of it like the golden age. Think of that as like the dark ages, the bronze ages, the silver ages, and then some iron ages, and then some more golden ages, some more dark ages, some more green ages, some more red ages. It's like all of them exist in their own independent timelines that we can access, there are different dimensions that are already existing in the quantum and fractal realms and everywhere around us. And so when we look at like humanity right now, even though it looks like they're in ascending to the next golden age, but it has always been here. Like, none of this ever left us. Like, we have always been a social unity awareness, humanity itself. It is just the perception of not thinking that we are not that is the real issue, is the real source. Because if we are not perceiving ourselves, if everybody in the world is perceiving themselves as separate, as something that is like not one with everybody, then we are not able to experience the reality itself. All we will be doing is just like on this side of it, it's just like, it's not, the truth doesn't look that clear. Even though I've put some oil in it and the color on this side and that side has become a bit merged, you can still perceive it and everything, but that is the perception of it, perception of reality. That is reality itself. So you can see, if you're able to see more light, more color, more detail, more energy, more consciousness, more awareness, when we're actually looking at the reality itself, the absolute reality, not as what we think social unity awareness is, not as what we think the collective would look like as a singularity being, but really allowing the collective of humanity, the collective of this Milky Way galaxy, the collective of this whole universal cosmos. I just refer to as that collective, like all of us, like everything that exists, like every cell, every atom, every tron of every being, the whole creation itself, like consciousness itself, awareness itself, singularity itself, eternity itself, infinity itself, alpha itself, omega itself, now itself, singularity itself, transcendence itself, purity itself, love itself, and telepathy itself. And you can see that I'm using itself consciously, and I'm choosing to say that instead of saying he, she, or this or that, because is that a man? Is that a woman? Is that a woman? No, it is not. All it is just patterns of energy, and there is no one way of interpreting it. And you guys know that. Or maybe I'm just acting crazy. because this channel is primarily for entertainment only. I don't know why I'm laughing at this one, but I'm just loving the energy. That's all it is. It's just like very purity energy, because all I see, all I experience every single day is living in social unity awareness, living as Royal Anwar Transcendence, naked, pure, observational, telepathic awareness, super consciousness. Ugh. That is a very naked way of looking at reality, but until this is an important point, until, thank you Jim Rohn, until you do not make yourself naked in front of the absolute itself, it will not make itself naked to you. Even though the absolute, even though, I'm just going to use the absolute, even though the absolute source creator, even though the transcendental absolute source creator, even though the one source creator, it sees everything you do, it knows everything you've already done, but it has given you the freedom of choice that only you have the power to choose when you actually choose to be a social unity awareness, when you choose to be fully naked with all your thoughts, with all your emotions, with all your feelings, with all the waves and everything happening within you, with everything you have done in the past, everything you have done in the present, everything you will ever do in the future, with all your timelines, with all your history, all of it chained together like a blockchain that is immutable, that cannot be hacked or anything. Like everything you do already exists within your Akashic records. Like the source already knows all of that, but it has given you the freedom of choice to actually make that choice, make the decision to say, hey absolute, I'm ready for you to see me completely naked, because it already knows you're naked in front of it, but it has given us the skin, the illusion, like the perception of thinking that we're not naked. And until we say that, we basically say, it goes something like this: in this perfect immaculate moment of the eternal now, I make myself completely, wholly, shalomly naked in front of all the 013 energy centers of the universal cosmos, and the universe itself, and the absolute itself, and Allah itself, and God itself, and Prakriti itself, and transcendence itself, and awareness itself, and telepathy itself. I basically make myself completely naked in front of the collective, so they can see me as my own truest, purest, highest, darkest and brightest self, without any biases, without any illusions, without any delusions, without any judgments, without any political lenses, without any religious lenses, without any sexual lenses, without any unbalanced lenses or races or colors or names or titles or positionalities or this or that, so that I can be a translucent diamond heart mirror that reflects back the collective's own truest, purest, highest, darkest and brightest self, so that they can perceive the reality of me as a social unity awareness, so that in return I can see them as a social unity awareness and realize that, hey, they are this, I am that, we're all just a singularity social unity awareness. And then you say, this makes me feel fantastic, this makes me feel amazing. And then you just laugh, and then you say, always with absolute excitement, trust, faith and honor, Ilahi, I mean, wasa, 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 Alif Lam Mim Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Om Shanti Shanti Shakti Mataji Lakshmi Zainab Rabia Arya Prakriti Om. Om Kriya Babaji Nama Om. Om Kriya Babaji Nama Om. That is the Om Kriya Babaji Nama Om mantra. That is Babaji. If you don't know who Babaji is, oof. Okay. That is Babaji. This one is me. That's what my energy looks like, my social unity awareness, which has been blessed with Babaji's, Kriya Babaji Nagaraj's Kriya Yoga, which is Raja Yoga, which is the highest, the skyway, stairway to heaven, enlightenment, and things like that. So with my, when I say with my, just my awareness, with my social unity awareness, which I have coined the term Om Royal Anwar Transcendence, naked, pure observational telepathic awareness, super consciousness, Om, I am able to perceive what that image looks like, or extra bits added to it, the reality of it, like how that being radiates pure joyful love, luminous light, peaceful unity and energy and harmonious energy, spiritual energy into the whole universal cosmos, like how that energy radiates from his spiritual eye, which is there, from his cosmic eye, which is his heart, and also from his astral eye, which is his telepathic awareness, that he is able to like be in full communion with the whole universal cosmos, because he is the impersonal personality of the whole universe, the all-in-one and the one-in-all. I just call him the incarnation of God, because what is the universe other than God? Like, I think the universe is God itself, but the thing that is invisible, I refer to that as Allah, my bestie. So fundamentally, everything that I blab about, everything you do, everything that happens, like it is Allah that is doing all of it. It is Allah that is the main director, that is doing all the filming, that creates the scripts, that creates all of this, the writings, writes it down, and then plans doing this video, and then tells me to, hey, now it's time to go do the video. But then I realize, hey, there is no separation between Allah and God. Allah and God are the same being. And then you're like, oh, I'm just a child. Like, you remember it takes two to tango? You know, these two are tangoing, they are dancing, you know, consciousness and awareness and all of that, they are dancing. But it takes three to mango. Two to tango, three to mango. Right now, I am the one in the middle, absolute neutrality. Like, I'm just like the one holding this paper up, so the video can be done through me, like the things can be talked through me. That is what it means for you to be a social unity awareness, where everything you do, everything you are, everything you perceive, everything you see reality as, everything that reality shows you as, what you see the truth to be, inside of you, outside of you, who you think you are, who you think you should be, who you think you this, you just let go of all of that completely, and you just be a zero, a container. So the absolute, the full force, the full power, the full singularity, spiritual, ethereal energy, eternal light essence, telepathic, creative power, force, X can flow through you, and maybe, baby, here's my number, call me maybe. Maybe God will give you his number, or its number, or her number. Maybe that will connect you to Allah, and maybe one day you will have a full telepathic, non-distorted, pure conversation with Allah itself, and you will realize that, hey, this thing is so fun, and you just want more of it, and then you just want more of it, and then you cannot stop, because once you're on the path of enlightenment itself, once you start becoming enlightenment itself, once you become, instead of reaching for enlightenment, which is a goal we're always aiming for, which is, I don't think we will ever be reaching a certain level in the human body that we become like the full enlightenment itself. But what I mean is, like, the body has reached its own evolutionary stages and goal, but what is happening inside of us, there's no limit on how much enlightenment we can contain. But for that enlightenment to be contained within your body without it exploding, you need to be able to have the indestructible body like that guy. Like, his body is like deathless, and like he's become enlightenment itself, and I'm just a baby Buddha or a baby transcendence, like a baby enlightenment. Like I was like, you know, like Buddha says, it is rare to be born a human, it is yet rare to pursue enlightenment. And I was like, hey, what is more, like, isn't it more rare to actually be enlightenment itself, like become enlightenment itself, become a pure diamond heart mirror, become a social unity awareness, which is like basically a form of enlightenment? Wouldn't that be cool? So when people look at you, when they look at your content, when they look at your videos, all they see is their own truest, purest, highest, darkest and brightest self. I think that that's pretty cool, isn't it? So yeah, dear beloveds, if you enjoyed this part of the video so far, if you found any value in it, if you enjoyed it or didn't enjoy it, let me know in the comments. Why am I looking that way when the camera is in that point? So interesting observation. So yeah, there's something in my jungly lion hair. Please do subscribe if you would like to be entertained more, but also within every video that I do, I put infinite amount of care, attention, joyful love, luminous light and peaceful unity, and a lot of my goofiness, a lot of my strangeness, a lot of my oddness, but it's all really just a pure naked way of seeing reality. And I've just made myself so naked in front of everybody in the whole world on my videos. So there's another channel that I have called Self Transcendence Show with Royal Anwar. That is the predecessor to this channel that I created beforehand. There's like around 120, 30 something videos there, and you can go watch those videos. They're also very fun, very interesting. That is more to do with my personal life and like in general for the public. This one, the Self Transcendence Mastery with Transcendence Royal Anwar, is exclusively for people who are actually openly and willingly are committed and dedicated 144,000% to heal their own vehicle of ascension, which is their body, their temple, their being, so that they can perform at the 144,000% energy level and fulfill your sacred, soul-led, but self-ordained cosmic purpose, cosmic mission, cosmic destiny, and cosmic faith, cosmic karmic calling, cosmic dharma, cosmic enlightenment goal, cosmic transcendence goal, cosmic being goal, cosmic creation goal, cosmic architecting goals, cosmic designing goals, cosmic being goals, cosmic living goals, cosmic enjoying life goals, everything. Like, that is what it's for, so that you can be of greater practical, experimental, functional, implemental and executable service to the collective, to the new earth evolved humanity, to Aurea, to the one cosmic family of infinite diversity, to the eternal one conscious harmonious civilization. Because, beloveds, until you do not make that choice, that decision that you're going to be actually fully committed to serving the absolute in whatever way, shape, form that you're needed, in whatever way, shape, form that you came here to do, to be of service, then your life will be a living fucking hell. It doesn't matter what you try, it doesn't matter what businesses you try, it doesn't matter which venues you go. It doesn't matter if you do 10,000 different things, it all surmounts to really just nothing. It doesn't really make much difference in the whole universal cosmos, because you're not being your own truest, purest, highest, darkest and brightest self. You're just being something that is not, something that you're not even meant to be, because that goes against your own integrity codes. It goes against your energy alignment. It goes against your spiritual principle. It goes against your ethereal awareness. It goes against your energy consciousness. It goes against your awareness. It goes against your purity. It goes against your telepathy. It goes against the being, the magnificent being that you are. And and me being the incarnation of transcendence itself, I have the ability to be anything and everything and nothing at the same time. We all have that ability within us. I've just been hammering it, mastering it over and over for I don't know how many thousands and millions and billions of lifetimes or whatever. I've realized that I have been here before time was created. Like, I am part of this. There's a special group that I call Transcendence beings, that I'm their servant, like 013 beings, the 013 fundamental inception, genesis, energy centers of the whole universal cosmos. I have been with them since before time was created, since before any of it was even here. So I'm very ancient in a sense that I don't give a fuck about that stuff, because I have just always existed, or these beings or this universe or Allah created me as a private one-man entertainment company. And then he was like telling me, you should act more, because of my connection, because I just call the Allah, God, whatever you guys call that thing, Spirit, my bestie. I just have a pure connection with it, in a sense that I am just not their child, not their son, not their daughter, not their this, not their that. I'm just their bestie, just a mirror, that everything I do is just to entertain God, to entertain Allah, to entertain the universe, to make them laugh, and so they can be a bit less tense, and their energy, their lotus can bloom like that. Like that happened because of me. Like that, Babaji's energy expanding, in a sense, God's omniscience, awareness transcended, GOAT, with G-O-A-T and then the column, GOAT, God's omniscience, awareness transcended, in a sense that they manifested me, and I just went around in the whole universe, run around serving them and doing different goofy stuff. They were just laughing at me, and while they were laughing, they just got transcended, and their energy, their lotus opened up, their lotus of transcendence within them. So you can understand the gravity of the situation here, as they put it in some movies, hot shot. That even though I've created the Self Transcendence Mastery with Transcendence Royal Anwar, this channel for entertainment, for adult entertainment purposes only, but you gotta understand that it is just my way of presenting my own wisdom, truth about the absolute reality in a way that completely bypasses all the bullshit, all the biases, all the judgments, all the lenses of like political, economical, social, race and all of that completely. I just spit at it. I just threw it out like a spit, and just like, that stuff is not welcome here. And if you, my beloved watcher, observer, studier, as you enjoy all of this, if you still have any of those lenses, if you're still looking at me and my contents and everything I'm sharing with you through your political, through your cultural, through your sexual lenses, through your education, through your title, through your status and all of that shit, through your names and titles and all of this and that, then you gotta get rid of that shit. That is not welcome here, bro. That is not welcome here, God's sister. It's not welcome here at all. Please throw it out. Like this. And then do this. And do more of that. Because in this channel, we are here to have fun. We are here to laugh. We are here to be patrons. We are here to just laugh at each other. You're welcome to laugh at me. You're welcome to comment and say, Royal, I think you're a very interesting dude. I think you're a very strange dude. You're a very odd dude. I think you're a very goofball. You have a very pure energy. I remember I had this kind of call with one of these soul family clients, these prospects. I was doing a mini transcendence session, like a stretch session. Hello. And she was like, you're very aligned with purity. I was like, wow, that's fascinating. I never knew I was aligned with purity. Because I was just being purity itself. That's what I mean. When you're... Ooh, we'll just wait for this. I mean, look at that. Look at my man there. Pretty cool, isn't it? Like, that is their vehicle of ascension. They are being of service. They are serving the community. They are being of greater practical, implemental, experimental service. Look. That's bro. They're all having fun and just fulfilling their role, while I'm here doing a video about social unity awareness, about consciousness, about being of service. And like, how do you know you're not a social unity awareness already? How do you know you don't have like God consciousness, God awareness? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. That's a mystery. And there are a lot of mysteries that I don't share, that I don't talk about, that I don't even want to know because it will ruin the fun. Like, I was watching Aubrey Marcus's the podcast the other day with Matthias Stefano, and he was talking about he was in this bongo pogo something medicine or some psychedelic experience, and then he was saying that his penis has shrunk down, and he was like getting worried, and he was trying to think about pussy and trying to get it hard, and then because he was in the psychedelic, in the state of purity, it was showing how a pussy worked, and he was like, oh no, I don't want to know that shit, it ruins the fun. That's what I mean. If we know too much about things, it will ruin the human experience. Like, it will just ruin it completely for us. Like, I still have left a lot of things out. Like, I don't want to know how like the sexual part of it works, like when humans have intercourse, like how does the penis work, or how does like vagina work. Like, it's spiritual stuff. I know it, but I still chose to like let it go. Like, oh, I don't want to know that shit, get it out of my face. Or like, I want to forget that stuff, fuck it, I don't want to know. So I had to like cut that chain off, like take it out of my system, you know, like take it out and like, hey, you, the sexual stuff is stay outside. Do not interact with that. In a sense, I was like, I redesigned how I perceive, how I see, how like the energy centers within me flow, the sexual organs and everything. I was like, fuck this. I'm like, because I am a very, in a sense, even in my channel it says we talk about naughty stuff and all of that, because the way I talk about energy and consciousness and all of this about telepathy, I'm just flirting with them, I'm just teasing them, I'm just like, you know, having fun with them and like doing things like that and doing the videos and always talking with them telepathically and shit like that. Because this whole thing, we created it to have fun. When the fun stops, transcendence stops. When you stop transcending, you're descending. When you descend, oh, you're going in the lower levels of consciousness, and those states where everything becomes a fucking hell to you. Oh my god, look at that ant was inside that book. I mean, it was there, I saw it before, but you know, it's pretty cool, isn't it? Look at that ant, oh my god. Ants, apparently, we know when you see them, when they see each other, they just give each other like a kiss telepathically with their antennas. They just say, hey, they just talk to each other, say what's up. And back home in Afghanistan, in the Hazara culture, you know, we would have like this cultural thing where people would, when we go around, we just say salam to anybody we would see. Just say salam. That's it. It doesn't matter. Nobody would typically go further than that and be like, hey, so what's your name? Like, who are you from? Where are you from? What is all of this? What is that? We would just, when we see somebody, would just say salam, like you're saying hello. Or you could just say namaste. All it is just saying, hey, I acknowledge you. I acknowledge that you're just another expression of the absolute itself, a pure being. I acknowledge you. That's it. This is just like the ants. The ants do not stop there for ages and talk about politics, do not talk about this, they don't talk about what's on the news. They just say, hey, they just move on because they got shit to do. They got places to be. They got to keep the chain going. They got to like keep the energy flowing. I'm just trying to find the scale map of consciousness and these things, so I can show you what happens when you go below in the lower levels. I remember there was a fucking page here, but I remember I ripped it off in one of them, but I remember there was 2 pages somewhere here. Apologies. I'm just trying to find this thing. Yeah, while I find that, pause for a few minutes and be like, ooh, this guy talked about some cool stuff about social unity awareness. Like, what is social unity awareness to you? What does it mean? Oh, I think we found it. This is pretty cool. Now, I hope you can see that. So it's saying correlation of levels of consciousness and the rate of happiness. Level, like that. Log, basically the energy percentage, the energy level, and then percentage of happiness from 1 to 100. So at the level of like shame, the energy within you, or the energy level, is like 20% out of your full potential. Think of it like that. But we'll get to the full potential in a second. If you're feeling guilt, if you're feeling guilty all the time about everything, about your own existence, about your own being, then your happiness is like 4%. If you have apathy, hatred towards everything, if you hate this, if you hate Donald Trump, if you hate that politician, if you hate that news, if you hate that country, if you hate that color, if you hate that race, if you hate that culture, this or that, if you hate that animal, if you hate that bird, then you're basically, your happiness is like 5% in total. If you grieve, 9%, desire, fear is like 10% happiness, desire 10% as well, anger 12%, pride 22%. If you're feeling prideful about this or that, then you're still vibrating at lower levels of consciousness. Like this is what hell is, isn't it? Isn't that hell? Isn't that what you guys call hell or devil? It's just your own state of awareness that is fucking up with you. And then we have courage. Energy is like at 200%, and then percentage of happiness 55%. Because if your consciousness, if your awareness is vibrating at the higher levels of frequency vibration, then your energy is different. This is what I mean. Above this is when we start becoming a social unity awareness, when we start becoming it. but we only become a full embodiment of this social unity awareness with this stuff, with this spiritual stuff, which we're coming to in a second. And then we have like neutrality, energy level 250, happiness 60%, willingness, energy level 310, happiness 68. That's what I mean. If you're being in a state of neutrality, you're leaving everything behind, your all identities and everything, and you're open, you're willing to transcend, then this channel is truly the right place for you to be. And that is maybe why you're guided by your own self to come and watch this video and still be here. So give it a like. Subscribe, definitely. If you have not subscribed, I'm gonna come and smack your fucking ass with this, okay? Like this. Telepathically. I'm not gonna bother coming there, beat you up physically. Telepathically, I'll zap your ass like this, like tap you. With my light, with my pure energy, with my essence. Just to wake you the fuck up. But not without your permission, but that's what I mean. If you're watching my videos, then you have given me permission already to do things like that. Which is basically the essence behind this video, is talking to you and having fun with you and flirting with you, basically. Maybe having metaphysical sex, I don't know. Acceptance, log 350, percentage of happiness, 71%. Reason, energy level 400, percentage of happiness 79. Love 500, energy level, percentage of happiness 89%. Unconditional love 540, happiness level 96%. Joy 570, percentage of happiness 99. Peace, energy level 600, percentage of happiness 100. And then enlightenment 700 to 1000, percentage of happiness 100. So you can see, the higher your level of awareness, your consciousness, your state of being, the more joyful love, luminous light, peaceful unity, and harmonious spiritual energy that you embody, that you express, that you be within you, that you think about it, you feel about it, you have emotional feeling thought waves that are in these levels. Then you're gonna attract, you're gonna be an attractor, like the great attractor in the universe. You're gonna attract those same levels of energy, like with this quadrant, this high vibrating, instead of those. But when you completely transcend from this thing, like what is, that's what I mean, like 120%, it goes beyond the 100% level of happiness, where you realize that your happiness has nothing to do with your level of awareness, your happiness has nothing to do with your consciousness, your happiness has nothing to do with who you are as a person, this or that. You're happy just because you exist in a state of non-existent existence, because the Absolute chose to make you manifest. And the Absolute has power anytime to do that, and you will die. Not your body will die. You will just leave this body behind and then go to the next body. It all happens telepathically. It's just your awareness, your social unity awareness that is eternal. It's just, this is the real you, the true you. That's what I call it, your truest, purest, highest, darkest, and brightest self. Like, you know, it's something like this. I'm just showing my own being inside of me, the energy that I am, the template, the indestructible part. You can see it's something interesting, isn't it? But when we get the grace of the Absolute with us, the whole universe with us, then we get the full power, the full force of the whole universe with us, behind us. And then we realize, hey, we truly are indestructible within. And that's when we realize, like, our happiness, our state of being has nothing to do with these percentages. It goes beyond the 100%, it goes 120%, it goes 144%, it goes like 144,000%. where every single day you're being in a state of what I refer to as absolute neutrality, transcending duality, vibrationless, transcendence being. Vibrationless, transcendence being. So it says absolute neutrality, transcending duality, vibrationless, transcendence being. Where you're being Mother Nature, where you're being the New Earth evolved humanity, where you're being the one cosmic family of infinite diversity, where you're being the eternal one conscious harmonious civilization, where you're being whatever the fuck you want to be, regardless of what I say for you, regardless of what I share with you, regardless of what you see on the news, regardless of what the world is telling you to, regardless of your conditioning, your programming, you're just being your own truest, purest, highest, darkest and brightest self. Because if you live your own darkest nature, if you live your own what they call shadow self or shadow side, your quantum self behind, then you're living out your brightest self, your fractal self, or you could say your Buddha self or your Christ self behind. If you do not mix those two together, if the two do not become 1, 0, like a seed, that is like what the mango seed looks like, isn't it? Just looks like that. If you're not being a seed, a zero, a container, and within which is infinite potential, that thing, when you look at it, even though it looks empty, there's nothing in it, but there's a lot of stuff in it. In that emptiness, everything that exists. And you can use your tongue to taste the invisible stuff. Interesting. So be a zero, be a seed with infinite potential, with infinite possibility, with infinite mystery, because a life of adventure, wonderful adventures, is a wonderful life full of adventures. A life full of adventures and wonders is a life full of adventures and wonders. A life where you live as joyful love, luminous light, peaceful unity, and harmonious energy and spiritual enlightenment. You're being that, you're being its embodiment, you're expressing it, you're living it, you're breathing it, you're fucking it, it's fucking you, you're having fun with it. That's when you truly become free. When you drop the ball. Not your balls from laughing, but you drop the books. You become pretty smart. You learn from Mother Nature. You allow Mother Nature, Prakriti, Ariya, to share its wisdom with you. Next time you see a tree, you look at it, you admire it, because every tree is a being. It has awareness, it has consciousness. Next time you see any object, it has awareness, it has consciousness, it has feelings, it has telepathic abilities, it has wisdom. If you're willing to see it, not with these eyes, to see it by closing your fucking your eyes and looking with your whole body as a singularity, as a zero eye. I think that's what my thrice great bestie Yeshua was talking about, like, when thy eye be single, not single without a girlfriend, without a boyfriend. When thine eye be single, your body shall be full of light. What kind of light are we talking about? We're not talking about light without darkness. We're talking about a spiritually harmonious, symbiotic unity light, or light unity. Because you understand that darkness is just purified light, and light is just purified darkness, the yin and yang. But then you realize, like, there is something in between the yin and yang, like a container, like a zero, something else, That is what I refer to as Jung, Y-U-N-G. That is me, transcendence. That is just like a goofball, like a something this guy has created, which is me. It's something very, very, very strange. So they could have more fun. So the yin and yang could be 3. But it's not 3, it's 0-3. Because if you put 0-1, 0-2, 0-3, it has a completely different meaning. Whereas if you just say 1, 2, 3. Because 0 is transcendence, 0 is singularity, 0 is that infinite energy within us. And all I am is the incarnation of number 0. Number 0 itself. Not number 1, not number 2, not number 3, not number 4, not number 5, not number 6, not number 7, not number 8, not number 9, not number 10, not number 11, not number 12, not number 13, but number 0 itself. Because number 1, because the spiritual is number 1, the mental is number 2, the emotional is number 3, the physical is number 4, the financial is number 5, the architect or number 6, the creation itself is number 7, the transcendence is number 8, which is what I am its incarnated personification of, and then the source is number 9, and then the archangels, what this stuff everything is made of, is number 10, and then number 11 is the guardians that protect humanity, that protects all of us, that is all of us together, and then number 12 the ascended masters, number 13 013 itself is just the number of God or Allah, whatever you call it, and then we come back to 0, which is what I am, the self itself. I don't know whether the little self or the big self or the self that is in the middle is neither big neither little, I don't know. All I am is just the self itself, and that has different meanings to different people, to different beings. I'm just posing to take some photos because the sunshine is out and the lighting is pretty good, and I want to have some images, some photos, so I can post them on social medias and stuff. Yeah, like while when you become 0, when you become nothing, you become everything. That is when you become a social unity awareness, because you realize that you're everything and you're nothing at the same time. That is when the fear of death truly leaves you alone. That is when death no longer can conquer you. That is when you become a deathless master, a deathless being. Because the perception of death is the true source of all fears, all traumas, all bondages to time itself. The perception of the fear of death, the perception of death itself is the thing that causes all suffering to humanity, to every being. It causes people to be vindictive, it causes them to be vandals and dark hearts and going around killing people and causing sufferings, and then they enjoy it, and then they go around and killing more people and causes more suffering, and it just never fucking ends. Like, I'm just gonna find this and this book, like what are some words that David R. Hawkins, MD, PhD uses to describe the level of shame or guilt, like the lowest level of consciousness in their perspective. But what is below all of that, I say that's where like the -0, like the Dajjal, the devil, the Lucifer consciousness and all of that exists. It's just like the absolute opposite of evolution and transcendence and things like that. I think I found it here. Yeah. Okay, so this being talks about the dualities of shame, attraction, aversion, self-punitive, self-forgiveness, depression, choose life, judgmental, surrender to God's mercy, negativity, let go of position, your titles, your names, your this or that, your job title and shit like that, shrink, hide, be visible, like this guy, self as worthless, affirm, gift of life. That's what I mean. Like, I realized a certain level that my happiness truly doesn't depend on anything. It doesn't depend where I live. It doesn't depend if I'm living in a shared apartment. It doesn't depend if I have no money at all. It doesn't depend on where I have no girlfriend, nothing like that. It doesn't depend on whether my business is growing right now or it doesn't make any money. It doesn't depend on what I look like. It doesn't depend on how I am behaving, how I am acting, because I just affirm gift of life. I just affirm that I am the gift of life itself, that the greatest gift that we could be is just being like down here, like as a mirror, as a servant. Rigid self-view, correctable, flexible, condemn, forgive, mortification, choose self-worth, denigrate to something, honor self, self-hatred, replace that with self-forgiveness, severe, binging, imbalanced, see both sides, and then be neither of them, be absolutely neutral in the middle, there's blank space. Blame self, blame ego's ignorance, exaggerate fault, transcend limitations. Partial selective view, that is when you're looking at things through your own biases and judgments and different lenses and shit like that. You just look at balanced overall view. You're looking at the full picture, multidimensionally from third person perspective, like a scientist. And then you're not being this or that. You're just being in the middle, just empty space, emptiness, blankness. Because that's what the absolute is. It's just pure. It's just nothing. You cannot see nothing. But in that nothingness, everything is. Self as loser, self as corrected, end of the road, beginning of the new, unlovable, worth as child of God, error unforgivable, error as a lesson, narcissistic orientation, concern for others, serve self, serve life. That's what I mean. Like, until you make the decision that you're going to be a full servant of unity or humanity or whatever higher power thing you believe in, then it's not going to really support you in the way that it could probably do in a very multidimensional, very abundant way, because you're not allowing that abundance to flow through you. You're not being the abundance itself. Indulgent self-evaluation, let go of egoistic position, self as center of life, self as a participant in life. Focus on self, focus on others. Should have, was not able then. Now you can pause it and observe it and watch it and study it. Because that's what it means to be absolute neutrality, transcending duality, vibrationless, transcendence being. I probably said that many times, is that you're not being light or dark, you're not being left or right, you're not being political or non-political, you're not being religious or non-religious, you're not being spiritual or non-spiritual, you're not being love, you're not being hatred, but you're being a mix of, a harmonious mix of both of them in the absolute center, right here, in this blankness. That is when truly life starts flourishing and you start becoming life itself. You start becoming the absolute itself. You start becoming your own truest, purest, highest, darkest, and brightest self. Just gonna find this other drawing. Oh, there it is. I did this morning while I was like reading this part, like dualities of pride. That's what I mean. I am just that container, like a diamond, with some numbers and everything for mystical perspective and stuff. And even though all of this, like the humility and humble and vain and proud, be more, be less, nobody important, admired, looked down on, status, common, ordinary, noticed, ignored, special, ordinary, better than the same, superior, inferior, attractive, fashionable, dull, be right, be wrong, opinionated, silent, thrill, dull, pedestrian, insider, excluded, exclusive, common, succeed, fail. Even though that dualistic consciousness, that dualistic awareness, consciousness and awareness, even though all those different levels of consciousness exist within my container at different levels for different states of existence, it doesn't bother me anymore, because I just always drill it in my fucking head, sometimes with a fucking gun in there with a bullet, shoot it right through. Sometimes I just shave this side and drill it, and you can see that I shaved it and it's going up. I do this symbolic stuff, like to drill into my fucking brain, into my heart, into my being, with every cell, every atom, every tron of my being, to always remember that all I am is just an empty container. But at the same time, I'm none of that. I'm just showing that as an example, as a way to show you, not tell you, because remember, this is Self Transcendence Mastery with Transcendence Royal Anwar. It's a show. It's just the God level of the Self Transcendence show with Royal Anwar. The next level, the enlightened version of it, the next level shit. The other one was just a practice. This is still a practice because I'm still having fun with you guys. When you remember that you're just like a diamond hard mirror, a container, and within you exists an immutable, a frequency, that's what I refer to as Om Kriya Babaji Nagaraj, God frequency super consciousness. It's just a state of awareness. It's just a consciousness that is vibrationless. It is neither a wave, it is neither a particle, it is neither quantum potential, it is neither fractal patterns. But it is both of them at the same time, it is neither of them at the same time. This is symbolically what that God frequency stuff is. Or maybe I've got it completely wrong, which is totally cool, because I do not care if I'm wrong about it. I'm sharing what I see with the world. So maybe you, my beloved watcher, observer, studier, looks at that and say, hey Royal, I think you have got this shit completely wrong. The other way around, it should be like that. Or maybe you fucking got it wrong and I got it right. But there is no competition on who gets it right or wrong. All this channel is, it's a very sacred, a very pure space for you beloveds to come here, watch these videos, observe them, study them, and remember that you already are a social unity awareness, you already are a social memory complex, you already are unity, you already are pure consciousness, pure awareness, pure enlightenment, pure bliss, pure joy, pure love, pure compassion, pure kindness, pure mercy. And all we are doing is having a discussion, an open discussion, an open, honest discussion, conversation about spirituality, about consciousness, about awareness, about telepathy, about nature, about transcendence. Really, this whole thing is dedicated to the collective itself, to all of us. Like everything I'm doing is just delegated or dedicated to the Absolute itself, to Allah, to Brahman Supreme, to Shiva Vishnu, to Prakriti Transcendence, to Royal, to Shanti, Shakti, Mataji, Zainab, Rabia, to Babaji, to Al-Mahdi, to Yogananda, to Yeshua, to some other people. I think that's why in Islam culture they have those chains they do. or they do this. I think it's all very simple. And some of them, they go nuts. They take the chains and they do like. Instead of taking a chain, why don't you take a piece of like this and just play with it? Yeah, 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 yeah. And then you do this. Yeah. So you can be a bit relaxed and allow the subtle vibrations, subtle energies of the absolute, these patterns, this purity to flow through you, so you can feel it, so you can be receptive to their teaching, so you can be receptive to the energy centers of the universe, so you can bypass all of it. It doesn't matter if they are this or that. All they are to you are they're just beings, their energies, their consciousness, their awareness, their telepathic stuff that is talking to you and guiding you, so you can become a social memory complex with the social unity awareness, and you can do things like this. So you can loosen up a little bit, have fun. Check out my hair, by the way. Don't I have amazing hair? Talk about not being prideful. But I'm doing that from a state of absolute neutrality, so I can convey the truth, the wisdom that is within me in a very naked, pure way. So we can have more fun, and I can blab and bullshit some more, so my videos can be longer. So YouTube, the algorithm can think, oh, this guy makes amazing content, and he shares it with more people, and more people watch it, and more people like and comment and subscribe and share it with your friends, and your friends see it and they're like, ooh, this guy is an amazing comedic. That's why I call myself dark chaos comedian, brightest chaotic comedian. Different names, nameless names. They're basically titles or sequence of energy I've given to different state of awareness, because when we name things from a state of absolute neutrality, from a high vibrating consciousness, the names become the system, the names become alive. The word, the frequency, when it spoke it, when it expressed the name that it had given to the creation, it spoke it outwards and everything became manifested. Yeah, something like that. That was before inception. And then it took Allah 13 days, not 7 fucking days, because after that, even though it took 7 days to create the creation and make it happen, but then it took another couple of days, all the way till 13 days, for it to reach a certain state where humans could be born and live and experience and do things like this in their videos. That was such a weird laugh. So it can do things like this, and or what do you call? Or the ladies have the female are obsessed with unicorns. There, I'm a unicorn to ladies. But I'm also a fucking dragon. A dragon, or a unicorn, a phoenix, a dragon together. Ooh, now you see. Just taking some snapshots of it. Now you see there is no limit. What about now? What about with the stuff of destiny and the Excalibur and shit like that? All the mythological stuff. You truly become invincible. And then you spit and your spit goes in the fucking hair, and then you do that. And then you just think about a way to summarize this video, and then you just say, hey guys, answer this question for yourself, like, what does social memory complex mean to you? What does it mean for you to be social unity awareness? What does it mean for you to be pure consciousness? What does it mean for you to be pure awareness? What does it mean for you to be pure telepathy? What does it mean for you to be pure, joyful, unconditional love? What is love to you? What is love? Isn't it the greatest attracting force, the greatest gravity ever? The singularity itself? And then you answer like, what is wisdom to you? What is the truth to you? And then you start making yourself naked, and you make a choice, a decision. You make yourself naked. You become a knight. You get the knighthood. Oh, and I'll make you a knight. Now you're a knight. Yeah, very nice, very nice. You become a knight. You just make yourself a knight in a sense. You make yourself naked in front of the absolute. Because when you make yourself naked, it makes itself naked to you. It shows you what you truly are. The parts of you that you have never ever imagined were there. The real juicy parts, the real drippy part, the real sexy parts, you know, the part that is so sexy, that is so pure, so naked, so immaculate, so quintessential, that you just freak out. You're like, whoa, how can this much purity be inside of you? You will freak out. You're like, whoa, how can this much pure awareness be inside that? Inside you, not me, inside you. And then you realize, wow, I am so beautiful, so magnificent, so quintessential that nothing that happens in the world outside or inside can affect your purity, your state of immaculateness. And then maybe you want to become a ballerina, like what do you call those cheerleaders with their, and then you become a cheerleader for life, for creation, for Allah, and then you dance. Just gonna put this slightly lower so you can see me dance. Get swifty, swifty. This is my swifty challenge. If you wanna get swifty, move your fucking ass. Dance, 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 dance. Or do this or that. Or if you're like from Asia and like Afghanistan, shit like that, they do mostly dance like this. Or you can do this. It doesn't matter. Just do something to have fun with yourself. And that's it. Bye bye. Love you so much. Make sure you subscribe. If you don't, I'll be visiting you in the dreams with this. Not this, with that colorful stuff. And I'll be asking you 9 questions of like, sit down, why have you not subscribed? Or like, why have you not liked my videos? If you didn't like that video, why have you not clicked dislike? That's important too. I'll be asking like, why have you not fucking commented? I'll be asking these questions to your higher self, and we'll be sitting there face to face, and you're gonna be squirming, you're gonna be sweating, because I will not be sitting at this girl, I'll be sitting as my dragon form with the dark phoenix fire burning, and every time I ask you a question, the fire comes out and you're shitting yourself there. Don't let it get to that point, because if I ever catch you in the dream world, in the dimensionless realms, in the astral realms, in the spiritual realms, in those lower levels of consciousness where I'm known as Dragotrex, Sphinx, trust me, you'll be feeling sorry for yourself. Nothing will be able to save you. So now is your chance to fucking transcend infinitely. Because when you transcend infinitely, the world around you transcends infinitely. When the world around you transcends infinitely, we all transcend infinitely, and every cell, every atom, every tron, every being, every plant, every tree, every human, every extraterrestrial, every alien, whatever you call it, we all become a singularity social unity awareness. We become a singular being. We already are that, but there's a lot of zillions and zillions of soul waves and selves and beings who are not at that stage yet, because they're still going through their evolutionary process, they're still going through their own awakening. That is why we keep coming back again and again and again, again. I've just lost count of how many incarnations, how many lifetimes I've had for this lifetime for me to become transcendence itself. And I'm not stop there, because what I realized, like the moment I became transcendence, I was like, transcendence only exists to serve. I was like, how can I serve? I was doing crazy stuff. I was like, I was doing everything I can, like, you know, being a divine troublemaker and all of that, and just like everything I could just to be of service. And I was like, whoa, this thing is pretty fun. I was just spinning the portals and some beings were coming through. in this one dimension, in this dimensionless place, there were these portals in the forest. We opened it and I connected with the electricity and everything, and then there were these goofballs, these little soul waves, this little purity, these 13-year-old childs were coming through, and I just picked one of them up and was just giving it some water, really. Especially my baby Transcendence. That is maybe a child I'll have in 5-10 years time. I'm just predicting my own future, because maybe I'll have a child in this lifetime. Maybe I will leave something behind as a baby, and ouch, maybe my imaginary girlfriend, Transcendence Goddess, Transcendence Goddess God, she will come with her child, baby Buddha. So we have a baby Transcendence, a baby Buddha in the world, a gift from Father Buddha and a gift from Mother Buddha to the world. I think that would be a really cool gift for me to leave behind, but at the same time I do not give a fuck about it. Why should I? Why should I give a fuck about something like that? Huh? Baby Buddha, baby Transcendence. One being, isn't it? It's just a twin. Maybe they want to come here and be prostitutes. I don't want that. But again, who am I to judge? It's not for me to judge what my children wants to be. If you're a parent, if you have children, you do not have no fucking permission. You cannot tell your children to not be this or that. If you do, I'll come and stick this in your fucking ass, this one in your fucking mouth. And I'll fuck you both sides. Metaphysically. Even though I'm expressing this wrathful anger energy, I'm doing it from a state of absolute neutrality, where I'm not affected by any of it. I'm just using them as tools to convey truths and messages. It's like having two but if that happens, that would be cool. If it doesn't, it's cool either. So if you have children already, if you're a parent, shut your fucking mouth and let your children teach you their wisdom. Do not be the one forcing them to do this or that. If they don't want to do something, shut your mouth and ask, hey, Why don't you want to do this thing? What is it about this thing that doesn't resonate with you? And then the child will tell you exactly everything. And then you shut your mouth again, you do not speak, and then they're finished. And then you're like, wow, this child, this baby is more intelligent than you are. Because they are. Because each child that comes through, they have the collective awareness already preloaded in their Genesis template, in their makeup. They already come with the social memory complex. They already come with the highest level of social unity awareness. They already come pre-packed with the highest level of purity awareness, with the highest level of purity consciousness, with the highest level of pure telepathic abilities. They already come pre-packed with Om, Royal Anwar Transcendence, naked, pure observational telepathic awareness, super consciousness, Om. They already come as a pure child. But if you're single, if you're a single man and feel like there are no quality women that want you, why is that? Why do you say a quality woman doesn't want you? Or why are we putting a barrier, a hierarchy, and saying that woman is quality, that woman is not? Because if you're doing that, then that woman says, oh, that guy is a quality guy, that guy is not a quality guy. But that happens every day. That is the dance of consciousness. That is what we are here to transcend together. Is to realize that no one is special than that, no one is better than that. We're all just one being. You're as special as that random stranger. I am as special as that guy who was coming here collecting the bins. Even though I may have a high spiritual ego and shit and saying, oh, I am this or that, or I'm the incarnation of transcendence or shit like that, because that guy is too, you are too. We're all just one being. We're all just one social unity awareness. But accepting that, acknowledging that, expressing that, embodying that, being that, in that sequence, that takes courage, that requires balls. It requires balls for you to punch through the fucking resistance. So you can stop living in the dreamlands. Stop daydreaming and start living your daydreams already. Because we stopped fucking dreaming before inception. This whole thing was created in God's dream state when he or she, it was dreaming. Or when they were dreaming. But they reached a certain level where they were like, ooh, it's time for us to stop dreaming and actually express the frequency, the vibration, the resonance, the Om, the the Ilahi Amin, the Amin, the Alif Lam Mim, the Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, the Om Tat Sat Om, to express the energy, the love. So all of this could be manifest, and then we would be given freedom of choice, freedom of expression, to be anything and everything we want. That is it, my beloveds. And then if you feel like you don't have friends, no quality friends around you, you better fucking stop thinking like that. You better start looking around you. Every human is your fucking friend. Every plant is your friend. I'm just looking at the squirrel there. That's my friend. This is my friend. This is my friend. This is my friend. This is my friend. That 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 is my friend. Every strand of my hair is my bestie, my friend. This tree is my friend. That sunshine is my friend. Those buildings are my friends. You're my friend. Tony Robbins is my friend. Jim Rohn is my friend. Brad Lee is my friend. Will Paulson is my friend. What else do we got? Samoans is my friend. Osiris is my friend. Allah is my friend. Paramahansa Yoganandaji is my friend. Lahiri Mahasaya is my friend. Shri Yukteswar Giri is my friend. The Buddha is my friend. One of my best actually. Babaji is my friend. I showed you that. Muhammad is my friend. Shalom is in you. His eldest daughter, Zainab, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is my friend. Actually, one of my main teachers. But we are in no way means related by any blood or color or race. I'm just a stranger to her, just a student. Somebody who learns from her, but at the same time, when I give her feedback, in a sense, when I talk back to her, when I ask her questions, when I'm sharing different things with her, I become her teacher, she becomes my student. The same way, when you like this video, when you click dislike, doesn't matter. When you comment, when you're pondering about it, when you're watching, studying, observing, when you're experimenting, orchestrating, and integrating the wisdom, the truth that was conveyed through me to you, then you become my teacher, I become your student. And that is the sacred Chela master relationship that we have. It's a bond that is unbreakable, like the pyramid code, like this. So yeah, that's all I am. Somebody who's holding the sacred Chela and student relationship on top of his head, wearing it as his shamanic glory crown, and just being a goofball, an entertainer, just an actor, a commercial model, a supermodel artist, a mystic actor, so we can have more fun and enjoy this life. Until next video, remember, you're already a social unity awareness. You already are a social memory complex. You already are the whole universal cosmic infinitum expressed in just one magnificent being that you are right now. And if you are a new earth evolved humanity, a conscious galactic leader, a one cosmic family of infinite diversity leader, if you are a eternal one conscious harmonious civilization ascended master or this or that, if you are a light warrior, if you are a life coach, a transformational life coach, if you are an energy healer, a Akashic reader, a tarot reader, a yogi, a monk, a swami, what else do we have? A confidence coach, a career coach, a personal development mentor. If you're those kind of people, those kind of souls, reach out to me, because this channel is just dedicated, in a sense, like I'm doing it for you guys, so we can have a different relationship than what I have with the Self Transcendence show with Royal Anwar channel. Because this is more to do with the question we're asking and answering is like at the basic level. One of the questions is like, how might we heal our vehicle of ascension business so that we can perform at 144,000% energy level and fulfill our sacred soul-led cosmic purpose, cosmic destiny, cosmic mission, cosmic vision, cosmic fate, cosmic destiny, cosmic this, cosmic that, so that we can live in joyful love, luminous light, peaceful unity, and spiritual harmony with all that just somehow is, while we are being of greater practical, implementable, functional, and experimental and holistic service to humanity right now, in this lifetime, in this fucking lifetime, not in the next one, not in the one you did before, in this fucking lifetime, right now. Because right now humanity needs you to be your own truest, purest, highest, darkest and brightest self, while you're expressing your own spiritual, ethereal energy, eternal, infinite light essence being through your own singularity, telepathy, creative power, force X, while you're having fun, while you're fucking your partner the way you like. But make sure you sync the breathing, because that's one of the things I learned from Tony Robbins, UPW. Like, when you're having sex with your partner, even if it's imaginary, just sync the breathing, because that sync your energies together, and you exist, or you're having fun in the same level of frequency. So you're just one being, but that's when you're like getting freaky. If you're breathing, then the energy from this to that is completely synced. If you're breathing, or if your awareness, if your consciousness, if you're not fully aligned on the spiritual, the mental, emotional, physical, financial, architect, creation, transcendence, source, archangel, guardian, ascended master, and the self itself, and 0, 1, 2, if you're not aligned on all the 0, 13 dimensions, the fundamentals that I mentioned to you, then you're just being two animals fucking each other. That's fun. But when you're aligned, then it's a different level of love. It's a very pure love. And the children that you create, they come imbued with a different level of awareness, a different kind of love within them. You create a baby Buddha, you create a baby Transcendence, and long after you're gone, your memory, your awareness, your intelligence, your wisdom will live inside every cell, every atom, every tone of your being. It will live in their brain, it will live in their blood, it will live in the electricity that flows through their body. They will exude your intelligence. And that is the greatest way you can pass on your wisdom. That is the greatest way the ancestors passed their wisdom to us. All I am is the collective summation of the ancestors, the transcendence beings, the same way you are, the same way we all are. But you gotta understand, we are our own ancestors. In 150 years or so, I'll be my own ancestor. This will be my ancestor in the future. But that guy in the future is like my savior, in a sense. It's like somebody guiding me from the future. But I'm guiding the one that is in the past, but at the same time I'm guiding the one that's in the future, because in this moment, in this immaculate, perfect moment of the eternal now, all that exists is the now, the singularity. And in this singularity, you're able to influence your past, you're able to influence your future, you're able to break the chains of your neck, the rusty ones, letting go of the stories, letting go of the judgments, the hate, the blame, forgiving yourself, because until you do not forgive yourself, forgiveness from the Absolute cannot come inside of you and say, hey, let me forgive you. You must make the choice to forgive yourself. You must forgive yourself. You must. Even though the Absolute has every power to transcend you and shit like that, they have sent many prophets, many angels, many archangels, many saviors. Like, they have fulfilled their purpose, their destiny, their karmic calling, their dharma. Yet their awareness, the awareness of Yeshua, Jesus Christ, sacred, divine, intelligent, cosmic consciousness, has always been here guiding us. The same way Siddhartha Gautama Buddha, sacred, divine, connected, unity, oneness, consciousness, has always been here serving us and guiding us. The same way right now, Kriya Babaji Nagaraj, God frequency, super consciousness, Kriya awareness. That being is here serving us. Has been here for a few thousand years. I don't know how many thousand years. Not bothered about that. They are here serving us, guiding us. But until you make the decision to become naked, to allow them to come inside of you, their awareness, not the actual being, their awareness, their intelligence, until you do not unlock that inside of you, then you will still be at the lower hell consciousness, in the lower levels of the dance of consciousness within the web of emotions. It is still a dance, it is still fun, but it is more fun at the higher levels. It is more fun when you're being this in the middle of both levels, like that. You're just being pure, you're just being green gold. Your purity is not affected by the dance that happens in the lower levels of consciousness, in the killing, suffering, hate, judgment, gossiping, this or that. It's not affected by the enlightenment, the love, the purity, the wisdom, the reason, the acceptance, like that, because you understand that you're both of them, but at the same time you're neither of them, because you're just being a cute plant, just being a pure cutie like this. So let's recap one final time. Remember that you're a social unity awareness, a social memory complex already. Pause the video, take a screenshot of that, or maybe at the bottom of this video I'll put a link to a shared drive space where this image is there in a high resolution, so you can print it and put it in your wall. Actually, I will do that. Not because I have to, not because of this, but because I'm making a choice, because I understand with my infinite intelligence, with my infinite wisdom, that that would be of greater practical, implemental, functional and experimental service to you. The same way, I'll put an image of this so you can print it, meditate on it, put it on your wall, watch, observe, study the energy, the patterns, because that is neither moving, neither still. It is neither quantum, neither fractal, but it is both of them. I love you. Make sure you share my channel with your friends, get them to subscribe, and every time you do, I send you a kiss. Yeah, thank you for your participation, because this universe is participatory, just the same way as transcending the levels of consciousness is participatory, just the same way as ascending or inner ascending the stairway to enlightenment is participatory, just the same way as being both of them but neither of them is participatory. Have fun. This is the book I used as an Inception Genesis template in this video, just to help me, because I'm reading it, just to help me like convey my messages deeper, and also get these teachers involved, because maybe this guy is the incarnation of consciousness itself. Maybe, I don't know. David R. Hawkins, MD, PhD, blah blah blah. That stuff is irrelevant to me. Yeah, I'll put a picture of this book as well. So those 3 resources I'll put in the below. Those 2 images with the picture of the book, so you can print them, get the book, share your story with me, how my videos, my contents positively disrupt your life, make you loosen up a little bit, and you know, you're dancing, you're doing this, This is Royal Anwar Transcendence tuning out. Transcendence Royal Anwar says thank you and appreciates your presence here. Bye bye.